What's up YouTube, Kristo here, and I've got a review for you. My first review since I finally finished my 12 picks for fall 2015. Today I'm going to be reviewing Caron's Yatagan. This is like a legendary fragrance of mythical proportions, not necessarily on YouTube, not really even as much on Facebook, but just in the perfume world in general. Anyone who's kind of into things that are less mainstream, indie, niche, this is something that is definitely a very relevant fragrance from a very relevant fragrance house. I actually wanted to try this for a really, really long time. I've talked about Caron Masculine a few times on my channel. It's basically the green one, okay? So this is like the red one, and then there's the yellow one. This is the red one here. And I had heard about it, and Atta, an old reviewer on YouTube, who is, I believe, the only other reviewer to have a full-length review on this, we used to talk, and he highly recommended this to me. And I searched for it for years and years, and I couldn't find it for, what I was told is a reasonable price. And I finally came across a sample about 6-8 months ago, and I just really loved it, and I had to have a bottle. And of course, being stingy and cheap, I had to wait and search for a decent price bottle. Finally got one though. So to start with, Yatagan is actually the name of a traditional Turkish sword, or a saber. It's very long, quite straight, but it has a slight curve in the blade. So this fragrance is meant to conjure up images of the Ottoman Empire, which was based in modern-day Turkey. So the whole kind of premise of this is a warrior is, a horseback rider with a huge sword and saber, ready to defend his dynasty, ready to spread his colony around the world, kind of thing. So it is meant to bring up images of, warfare, tribalism, the Near East, the Middle East, whatever you want to refer to it as. So it's definitely something as well that gets a lot of very strange adjectives to describe it. There seems to be a lot of people that are really offended by this, that say it's like animalic and abrasive and offensive and loud and noisy, like unwearable as well. And that's kind of originally what drew me to it. And then after talking to Atta, and he's like, it's really not that bad if you're not just into like Giorgio Armani fragrances. He's like, this is definitely something worth checking out. This fragrance dates back to 1978, and this is one of the few fragrances I've ever reviewed. I think there's only one that I can think of off the top of my head that actually predate my birth. I honestly admit I'm a bit of a Philistine when it comes to pre-90s men's fragrances. A lot of them are just too similar, too samey, too boring. There's a lot of citrus with leather, a lot of citrus with animalic notes, a lot of citrus with patchouli. For the most part, I find them quite boring. But there's a few that stand out, and this is definitely one of them. So notes that I get out of this, I definitely get a lot of herbal notes, kind of exotic herbs, things like artemisia, wormwood, even bay leaf, I think. In terms of animalic notes, I'm sure there is some castoreum or some musk or something like that in here, but I really, truly don't find it as offensive and stinky and animalic and barnyard and poopy as people kind of make it out to be. I actually get an overall kind of incensey, resinous feeling from this, which is just exceptional, I think. What does this fragrance remind me of? And it's really hard with this one because Caron really put a lot of imagery into the whole promotion and the backstory to this. So definitely, I have to say, whether it's subconscious or conscious, it does definitely make me think of a horsebacked warrior with, you know, a brutal, fighting history that wants to go out and conquer. Um, it's so masculine. It's so catchy and it's so unique to me. There's not really anything like this that was made at the time, in my opinion. There's some things that I know of that are newer that resemble this slightly, but this is definitely the one that broke the mold. This was it. This was the first kind of thing in its genre, and that's totally what this reminds me of. It's like, I know I said a horse-backed warrior, but translate that into modern times, and I think of like a really well-dressed, really good-looking, sophisticated gentleman wearing a fragrance that is just quite outrageous compared to what the standard is or should be. Totally what this might reminds me of, and I can't even imagine a guy wearing this like in 1978, when someone would walk into your office wearing like all these classic, Versace and Armani and Yves Saint Laurent ohms and loams and stuff that are just like totally yawnable in my opinion. This is just like, you know slaying all of those in my opinion. I don't think that's quite what they are going for, but that's totally what it makes me think of. In terms of performance on this, I have to say that is one of the few downfalls. It's not bad by any means, but I am a bit of a stickler. I definitely want better performance, especially longevity. Longevity on this is like 6 hours, and that's like kind of it. More than 6 hours, and it's like nose to your skin to smell it. If it lasted 8, I would be surprised. And at that stage, it's just going to be like a really thin, clean white musk. All of the kind of wild herbal and animalic and incense and resinous notes are long, long, long gone by then. Projection is okay. I'm not the kind of person that needs a fragrance to be beast mode. I'm happy with something as long as I can smell it, like kind of in a nice little bubble around myself. I wish the longevity was better, absolutely without a doubt, but I think projection for me is ample. Season on this, definitely fall, winter. I think it's ideal. I wish I would have gotten this a little bit earlier than I did. I think I ordered this towards the middle or end of October, and I didn't get it until, yeah, maybe like mid to late November. I'm happy I got it. I think this would have been awesome for September, October time, but I didn't get it until it was a bit too late for that. Gender, man, this one is totally masculine. I'm always someone who's going to say try before you pass judgment on gender, but this is like all man. This is like, just like the epitome of a classic masculine fragrance done in a right way. I really, really enjoy it. I'm sure there are, females out there that would enjoy this, but to me, this is just all man. Age, definitely a more mature fragrance. If I had tried this towards the start of my fragrance journey like 10 years ago in my mid-20s, I probably would have hated it or just gone like, ooh, that's old and stinky, but definitely it's going to take a more mature, I don't know if I can say refined, but definitely a more mature nose to appreciate this one. Price, now this is one of the really great things about this fragrance. Even though Caron is technically a niche house, they don't make clothing. Perfume is their number one, their standard, product that they produce. It's available for very good prices. Even at retail, they're quite, I think, very reasonable. if you find this gray market discounted, 125 mil like this, I paid about 36 US dollars shipped, um, everything included. I'm really happy with that. Excellent price. I've heard of it being as low as like $25. This, as well as Caron Porun Om and Third Man, are all pretty much in a similar bracket. You know, very similar packaging, very similar bottles. Even have, you know, different colored juice inside that represent them, but that whole range can be found for very, very good prices. If you're looking at retail, even though I've not actually seen these in any department store, they actually have it at Lucky Cent, and 125 mil like this is 90 US dollars, which is about 130 Canadian, I believe, which is nearly triple what I paid. From the Caron site, in euros, this was 90, which is well above 90 US dollars. So definitely, especially if you're in North America, gray market, discounters, look for it. It is definitely available. You know, save the retail sites for last resort for sure. Now, packaging, I want to talk about packaging. I don't usually get into packaging on my channel, but I really like the packaging, not just for this, but Caron Pornome as well. I think it looks really nice. I like the attention, even though it's really, really affordable. So you notice on the box here, it's got this really nice textured kind of snake skin or, you know, reptile lizard skin print. Then it's got the gray stripe and then white pinstriping. Now, if you notice the bottle here, the thing I really like about this is both of them are divided into thirds, but the thirds are split up differently. So on the bottle, you get red, white, red. You know, you've got your silver pinstriping there. And then on the box, you get red, pinstriping, white, and white. And I like that. I really like that. I think simple packaging, in my opinion, can often be better than loud, outrageous, ridiculous, goofy, tacky, gaudy, gauche packaging. So to me, I really like this. I think that looks fantastic. So for me, positives for this one, definitely it's a great masculine scent. It's unique. There are things I've smelled that are similar to this. Etat Libre d'Orange's Elage de Traitre instantly comes to mind. But this predates it by 30 years. And it is different. This is darker, it's heavier, it's more animalic, it's smokier. I think they're both really great, but I think they're different enough that I can appreciate and enjoy both of them differently and separately. I think it's fairly easily accessible if you're in North America or Europe. Europe, it's probably everywhere, I imagine. The price, excellent. For 125 mil for 30 to 40 US dollars, honestly, there's really not much I can think of in that quantity that can compete with this. This, along with Encre Noire, I think are two of the greatest, like, masculine cheapies ever made. For me, I like this because it's different, it's weird, it's unusual, but it's not as outrageous or strange as I was expecting. So to me, this is actually really wearable, which is a big, big, big plus for me. I was kind of expecting it to be something I would just spray on every once in a while and go, wow, that's so weird, but it's totally not. Negatives for this one, if you're new into perfume and your kind of benchmark is Acqua di Gio, or you know, any other kind of fluffy mainstream designer fragrance, this is probably going to be too much for you. If you're getting into niche, again, this might be something that you need a bit of time to appreciate, but you know, to me, that's kind of a thing that comes with, you know, experience and getting to appreciate more unique or more daring fragrances. The only other real criticisms I have for this, the first is the longevity. I do wish it lasted longer. 6 hours for a $30 fragrance is not bad, but I do wish it performed a little better in that department. Another problem is the dry down. The ultimate dry down, just like the kind of thin, clean white musk, it's kind of boring and uninteresting and is so reminiscent of Caron Porun Om in the ultimate dry down as well. Luckily, it's cheap enough that I can just keep spraying and reapplying and getting that great kind of, 1 to 4 hours, the kind of opening in the mid that I really love out of this. If you're in Asia or a part of the world where Caron is not as accessible like I used to be, that's definitely going to be a problem as well. I wanted this for so long when I lived in Indonesia, but I wasn't going to pay like $75 or $100 for something I knew I could get for $30. Overall, though, I love this, and even though I don't wear it as much as I should, I'm definitely holding out, and I'm going to wear it a lot next fall. I love this, and I'm so happy to have it in my collection. I highly recommend this for anyone who's getting into more daring herbal animalic fragrances, that are maybe a bit, less orthodox or more abrasive. I think this is definitely something that you should check out, considering, you can probably get a sample of this for virtually nothing. I think it's really an excellent fragrance. So turn it over to you. What are your thoughts? If you've tried this, what's your opinion on it? If you've not tried it, have you heard of it? Are you interested in it? Have I hooked you? Have I interested you in it? I'd be interested to hear your opinion. So thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you again soon.